Michigan Avenue in Lansing.
Yeah.
And she was telling me about the raw food group that Cricket was at the time, I believe. You started it around what, mid 80s, Cricket?
98, I think it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
or maybe it was 89. I don't know.
yeah, I think it was close. It was in the 80s. So I started going there, and I kept going, and then eventually someone gave us this little book called uh, "Cleanse or Die." And anyway, Hiawatha was instrumental in supporting my raw food walk, and she was always encouraging, and she was always informative, and we just hung together and went to Creative Health Institute several times. We went out to Magnolia, Mississippi, to a retreat, and she introduced me to Susan Lavender in New Mexico, and we went out to Puerto Rico together to the Ann Wigmore Center there. We went out to visit Paul Nissan in West Palm Beach, Florida, at Hippocrates. So we did about 5 or 6 health retreats all over the world, and Hiawatha has been a great inspiration to me. She's always guided my walk in the raw plant-based movement, and I am totally and eternally grateful to her. She's an amazing person with a beautiful, sharing personality, and at 88, I wish I can do half of what she can do.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go next. This is Maxine chatting from my kitchen. And I don't know when and where I met Hiawatha, but because I met Hiawatha, my husband calls me a clown. I am a certified laughter facilitator because of Hiawatha, and hopefully bringing lots of laughter to the lives of many, many people. Laughter is the medicine of the soul, she says. And because of Hiawatha, I think I might have met Cricket, because I'm now also a young living oiler, and one who can testify and one who has lots of testimonies from other people about the effectiveness and the benefits of young living essential oils. Because of Hiawatha, I went to on a 28-day stay at what's the place called, guys?
Creative Health Institute.
The Creative Health Institute, a place that I dearly, 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 dearly miss. We need that place back up and running. Because of Hiawatha, I can share. I've shared a lot of my talents relative to Brain Gym. I've gone to her facility where she's had some guests out there and shared what I called what I know as Brain Gym. So my sister-in-law is with us right now, Pat, who has breast cancer. And Hiawatha has been very, very supportive and informative. If you want to know anything about health and nutrition, you call Hiawatha. And Hiawatha is not asking for money, not asking for fame. Hiawatha has a passion for helping people in the area of health, and that's her ministry. So my sister-in-law had her echocardiogram, she had her mammogram, her ultrasound, and tomorrow she gets her PET test. And the doctor says if they find that the cancer has spread, that she has no medicine for her. And the first person I'm going to call on Thursday, once we get the news, is Hiawatha, because the doctors might not have a medicine for it. But Hiawatha is a great resource who's going to help pump life back into my sister-in-law. So thank you, HIawatha. You are a role model. You are an icon in this community. And we love you and we value you. And we wish you the best birthday ever. And may you have at least 25 more. At least.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, this is Riola, and I'll go next.
Okay.
First of all, happy birthday, HIawatha. Love you.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, I met HIawatha, and HIawatha, you can help me out with this, but when I first met you, it was at Renora Lodge, I believe.
Yeah,
I did go to Creative Health after that, but when I first met you was at Renora Lodge, right? You remember when
yes.
that was, HIawatha? And
I
that's
have
when
no idea.
that's when I really got interested in raw food, because the food they made was so good. Even my husband liked it. My husband and I went up there, I think, for a week, and I got him to eat some raw food, and he liked it. That's when I first tasted some raw greens, and they were so good. So I just thank HIawatha. She shared all the great recipes, raw food recipes with me. And I got started, and I've been going ever since with the raw food. So she, like whoever was that spoke before me, was saying, she helped people. She shares her recipes. She never asks for anything, and she just is so sweet and so loving. And I just always enjoy being around her, talking to her. She's just such a pleasant person. So, HIawatha, I wish you many more birthdays. Love you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, this is
Well,
Carol, and I just go back
I'm gonna
on.
have to
And
leave and go walk Pepper. The little doggy you saw, Pepper turned 13 on 9/11. She's 13 years old. So the time is passing here, HIawatha, so I have to get out and walk Pepper now. So I don't want, I'm gonna have to leave the meeting now. But happy birthday again, and we'll be talking. I'll be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Yep, and this is again,
and I just got back on, so I'm going to go ahead so I won't get disconnected again. So, HIawatha, happy birthday to you again. And I wish you many more. I love you so much. And I really thank God for meeting you. We met through Dr. Angie Kubi. I had just quit my chemo, and he recommended me to call you. So I called you, and we got together. Well, at that time, we did not get together because you told me if I can make it up to Creative Health Institute, that I would have a free membership. I would have a free week there. And I could not do it because I had two special need children and nobody wouldn't keep them. And anyway, it was a few years later that we met, and it became VHI. It became that. And that's when we met. And I ended up doing a contract with Devoted to Healing with VHI. Met a lot of wonderful people through you and helped a lot of people through you. And we work good together, and I'm still in contact with you and so happy to be connected to you. You are a great resource. You are a wonderful woman and have lots and lots of possibility and lots of friends. And I'm just so glad that I am one of them. And happy birthday again.
Thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
that was
Carol.
nice.
hi, this is HIawatha's niece, LaQuanda Murray, also known as Baby D to some of you, who she'll refer to me as. That was my mom who just left to go walk her dog before it's starting to get dark here. But definitely wanted to wish Hiawatha a happy birthday and just thank you for always being an inspiration to me in my constant journey to wellness. Sometimes I fall off the wagon, but Hiawatha is always there to encourage me and pick me back up. And I really became really interested in just eating well and eating raw after going out to visit her at her place in Michigan, of which is, with the pandemic and everything that's going on, it just makes me sad that I can't go back out there, not right now, but I'm looking forward to when all of this is over, I can get back out to the farm. But again, she just encourages me, and every time I make something healthy, I send her pictures of it. So I do have to send you a picture of the cauliflower steaks that I made last night. So just again, just I love you, and just thank you for being a role model and just helping me to look forward to living a wonderful life just like you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Cricket,
Yeah.
was there someone else that had a presentation or something that they wanted to do? I thought there was another person that said something.
I don't, they'd have to speak up. I didn't hear anybody if they did. I have something that I'd like to share though. Here's
Okay, then we'll go back to the others. I don't want them to think that we're done, but I just thought if there was something we inserted here.
I want to share a birthday cake with you, Hiawatha. I made this for my mom, but it's in your honor too.
Wow.
Can you see it?
Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
It's
Wow.
layers of watermelon.
Ooh.
So this is basically how it got put together. You cut the watermelon, cut out the slices, and stack it up. Oh, I also made watermelon juice. Cut up the fruits. I had little molds, and I cut out stars and hearts and fancy circles, and used some mint leaves on the top there, and just stuck them on the cake with toothpicks. And then there's the frosting that goes along with it that we just poured on top of it. And this is the frosting. It's banana and strawberry and coconut oil. And then instead of frosting the cake with it, we just used it as like a whipping cream kind of thing on top of it. So happy birthday, Hiawatha. I hope your mouth is watering for a cake like that.
It is.
eat your heart out.
We all could concur. Yes. Very beautiful.
Beautiful.
Mhm. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to go.
Okay.
If not somebody else that urgently needs to go.
Go ahead, Carlotta.
Okay, well, I'm Carlotta, and I met Hiawatha when she retired from social work. I kind of knew her in the community because social workers really supported counselors of all type, and I was a licensed professional counselor, but I was getting a lot of education and connection from social workers. And so my sister had already did a vegetarian thing on me and introduced me to what the Seventh-day Adventists do, even though she's not Seventh-day Adventist. And when Hiawatha said, I'm going to creative wellness to learn to be more healthy, I said, well, you know, when you come back, tell me everything you learned because you know I'm interested in learning. So she came back and she invited me over to every event she had on raw food. I looked at it and I said, no, I don't think I can eat that. And she had all kinds of samples and things. And I'm like, not what I have in mind. So when I finally actually Moselle said, you got to go because Hiawatha's, connected with cricket. Cricket's doing these groups. So I finally took 3 months after she told me and finally went there one night and it was the wrong night and I had taken the bus. So I've been dropped off. And so I had no phone and whatever. And so I had to try to get way back. But anyway, I finally got there at night. And the first night I got to the raw food, everything looked like, ugh. But I had brought Ezekiel bread and cucumber sandwiches. And they said, well, we don't really eat Ezekiel bread as raw food. And another guy had come the same night. He and I ate my Ezekiel bread, cucumber sandwiches, but I tried everything there. And I'm like, oh my God, it didn't look good, but I am satisfied for the first time in my life. I am not hungry. Everything else I'd eaten had left me hungry. I was like, I need a turnaround. And so I kept coming. And I bought her book, and I brought it for everybody I knew at the time. And it was Recipes and Instructions for Living Foods Lifestyles. And you can tell it's kind of coming apart. It's been used and everything. And then when my youngest daughter graduated from high school, she was interested in healthy food. So Hiawatha took her in for the summer, and she did like I said, we had talked about her doing some type of a summer experience. And so a summer service and experience between high school and the next step. So Hiawatha took her in and she learned everything, wheatgrass and all of that. And then she came back and she was showing me things. She loves you, Hiawatha, and I thank you because I went completely 100% raw for the first 3 months in raw food. And then I'd be eating what I knew to eat, nothing special. And then I went back and I got a bunch of the recipes. I mean, I have a packet here, but I started getting one recipe at a time until I had this whole packet. And I would like look and see, well, what foods did I like and what I like to work with. And then I went home and prepared stuff. And then I got creative and started coming up with, how do I make sweet potato pie raw? And, so I really am probably anywhere from 50 to 100% raw on a given day. And if I eat cooked food, it's at night because it does make me sleepy. But I am really grateful because I didn't know, I grew up on meat. My father would get stuff in the freezer and I didn't know anything about fruits and vegetables much. And so I've learned so much. My husband actually introduced me to broccoli because I told him, no, I don't like broccoli. I used to get frozen vegetables. My mom used to give us frozen vegetables and all I saw was the white part of the broccoli, the stem in the vegetables. And when I said, where'd that green come from? And when I tasted it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. So that was the start, and this is the continuance. And it's so much better than vegetarianism, but it's fruits, nuts, and seeds. And I did make a dessert, if we're gonna show desserts later, that's raw.
You might as well do it now.
Okay. Well, I didn't take pictures, unfortunately, but what I did was I came up with, sometimes I'm still simple. So I have dates, measured dates, almonds, raw almonds, organic, sunflower seeds, and I happen to have black sesame seeds instead of the white ones. My daughter got those. So I grind these up together. I had like 12 almonds, 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds, and a tablespoon of sesame seeds. And I just ground them up in one of these little deals here, a little ninja thing. I actually have a Vitamix, but it was small, a little bit of amount. So I grind it up in this until it stopped, grinding. And then I took the seed out of the measured date and I stuffed it with the nuts and seeds. And then I sliced them and I got a sugar high. So only do this when you really want something sweet because measured dates or dates are a whole food, and you can kind of survive on them. And then, you know, the nuts and seeds are protein, and almonds has the most minerals and vitamins in it of all the nuts and seeds I heard. And I remember when I had a natural miscarriage for my second child, Dr. Joyce Hartsfield in Detroit, before I moved to Lansing, told me about taking 12 almonds, 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds, and 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds with 2 cups of water and a couple tablespoons of unsulfured blackstrap molasses. And that's how she had me, I mixed them together and I drank it every day. And that's how she had me build my iron back up. And I was fertile again and had a 3rd child.
Nice.
So anyway, but then I was on I was learning macrobiotic diet then. And so that was the foundation before I came here. But thank you, HIawatha. You're wonderful. I love hanging out there with you. I remember that last time I was out there and you were telling me how to make something natural. In fact, I can't remember. I tried something new. I don't remember everything. It's so many wonderful things. You just say, well, what are we going to do with this? And you just say, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? So you can bring any kind of food to you. And then, you know, together, when we work together and make a dish, it's just super delicious. So I can't believe how I turned my nose down, but I'm a believer now. So I thank you so very much for who you are and how you know, you were cool. You didn't even get uptight with me because I was turning my nose down. You just kept introducing me until I came around. That's how beautiful you are.
Cool.
See, sometimes you gotta persevere.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
I guess I'll go next here. I met HIawatha. I said a couple things, but not everybody was on at that point. I met HIawatha, I think, in about 1996. And it was, of course, at Creative Health Institute. A friend of mine who realized I was not feeling well at all. I was just tanking physically. I had a lot of emotional stress, and about 2 years after that is when my body just reacted to everything. And I was eating whatever I felt like eating, because when you're depressed, you eat really bad. So, and you eat what tastes good, but it's not healthy. So I just remember the condition I was in was not real great. And I had gained some weight because I was on some medication, and I just didn't know what was wrong with me, and the doctors couldn't figure it out. And my friend invited me to Creative Health Institute because her father and mother had gone there when he got cancer a long time before that. And she said, you just need to go, you know. So she joined me there and encouraged me. And HIawatha was the one organizing all this. And after a couple of days, I thought, how did I luck out with such a nice person here leading us? And again, her humor really helped the situation. I was just not feeling well at all. And I thought, boy, this really, really helps, you know. And I thought, I have no idea. I almost didn't trust people with this weird raw food thing. And I thought, what is this, you know? And I didn't think I ate all that unhealthy when I was younger. But then I started making these discoveries after being there with all our hands-on preparation. And I was only there a week, but it changed my life because I realized I lost 15 pounds that week, but I lose weight easily. My husband always says, don't tell other women this, but I lose weight very easily because my metabolism is like that. So if I miss a meal, I lose a pound, literally. And so I was losing too much too fast, and my pants were getting so loose, I had to kind of almost hold them on. And she slowed that process down for me and said, well, you know, here's how to slow that down a little. And I got through that week. And when I walked away, I thought, you know what? I think I need to make some changes, and I really want to. I think what that week did for me was to say, I want to change. And I'll tell you, eating raw food, it was like my taste buds came alive. Isn't it true? You know, I had no idea. Just like, I think it was Carlotta, you were saying that. I had no idea how good this would taste. And I started craving real food and incorporating it. And then I went on the basis of to change my family's eating habits a little bit slowly, because you have to, you can't do it radically with the whole family. I started putting out a bowl of beautiful fruit, decorating it on the counter. And I would just entice them and say, try to eat one piece during the day. And I'd put the most tasty, I'd try to buy organic if I could, and put the tastiest, prettiest fruit out. So you start with the fruit. And then after a while, I said, you know, how about if I put it in the fridge and don't put it out anymore, and you guys just go ahead and get it? Okay, well then they would tell me when I ran out. They would say, we're getting low on that fruit, Mom, you got to buy some more. So then I went to the vegetables and kept adding with the family, you know. And it's been quite a journey to see how radically my health changed. I lost the weight, and I started figuring out how to get off the medication and kind of working through that. And I've had some ups and downs, as we do, you know, just health-wise. But it really made such an impact. And then having HIawatha be there to be the guide for all of us during that week was just such a positive effect on me. And then HIawatha, I just think I've heard things, bits and pieces throughout the years, even though I haven't been intimately connected with you. I keep hearing good things, and I'm so grateful that you've continued to practice what you preach and to encourage others the way that you have. And I wish you the happiest of birthdays, and for the influence that you've had on others like me in different ways. I just am thanking God for you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is there another?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Mary,
I'd like to say something.
go ahead, Mary.
Okay, I'm going to be brief, but I met HIawatha in California while she was there visiting a friend. I had just, I think, done a stay at Optimum Health Institute in California. I had done a 6-month stay there, and I was teaching a program at my church. HIawatha came to California and met a friend that attended my meetings at our church. And as HIawatha and my friend were walking, my friend told HIawatha, you need to meet my friend Mary, because she talks the same way you do. She says the same things you say. And so HIawatha called me, and wasn't too far, a couple of blocks away. So I went and picked her up, because as I was working at Optimum Health Institute and working all over the institute, I had acquired all this kitchen material aids and equipment and dehydrators and different things that you prepare raw food with. But I'd never used any myself. I hadn't even used it, because while I was staying at Optimum Health Institute, even for a period of 6 months, I never had to prepare my own food. It was always done for me. So I didn't really learn anything. So when I met HIawatha, I went and picked her up. We got together. We went straight to my kitchen, and it was on and cracking. We just got to cook. We started cooking, preparing, not cooking, but preparing everything. And that was back in the 90s, I believe. And it has just been an awesome, awesome experience, HIawatha. And I tell you, there's no one in my life like you. I appreciate you. I love you to death. And I always say, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. Happy, happy birthday, HIawatha. I love you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, I met HIawatha in probably 1979. And I joined the Negro Business and Professional Women. And if I remember correctly, HIawatha, you were the president when I joined. Mm-hmm. And through the organization, we all as a group went on a field trip to Creative Health Institute. She would always bring us information about the raw foods, and she was always talking to us, even though we were young then, and we were like, I'm never gonna eat like that, and never gonna eat that stuff, you know. And some of it was actually good, but you know, old habits are hard to change. So, you know, I've been away from Michigan about 20 years. So I missed my interaction with HIawatha, so I'm going to have to contact her more often now. How to reach her. But did you want to say something?
I just want to say hello and happy birthday to you, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I still think about that hair product that we were talking about, manufacturing.
And happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dog.
Oh, one other thing. HIawatha, do you remember we always would ask you your age and you would never tell us?
I can't remember that.
So now
I'm proud to tell it. Now I'm proud to tell it.
But here's the funny thing. We never realized how much older than us you really were. We thought you were maybe 10 years older than us. So that's a good thing. So I want to grow up and be just like you.
Yes.
We miss you.
Oh, boy.
Okay, anyone else?
Well, HIawatha, I'll go next because I'm not that much younger than you. I'm in my 83rd year, and I owe my good health in good measure to our association and our long-time connection with the raw food movement. I first heard about it in my 20s, and I knew immediately it made sense. Took a lifetime to get there, though. It's a long re-education in thinking and everything else. But anyway, I met HIawatha before she became director. Do you remember, HIawatha, when you became director of CHI?
I think it was 1992.
Okay, I started going there in the 80s, I think, once a year for a raw food retreat. And I remember we would go around the circle and Don would ask each of us, why are you here? And there would be one health catastrophe after another, and it came to me and I thought, oh, well, I'm here because I don't want to get sick. And I still don't want to get sick. And I'm still well. And I treasure our association, not for what you've given me, but for what you are, who you are. I have never had so much fun as being your apprentice in the kitchen, HIawatha. Every time I visit you, and I visit her twice until this year, I visit her twice a year for a raw food retreat. And I miss it so much. It would get me straightened out every year. And if I didn't straighten out enough, I'd come right back the next spring. So anyway, I'm going to the dogs, HIawatha, because I can't come and see you. But it's awfully wonderful to see you today and wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too.
Is anybody coming out there, by the way, for retreats? Anybody?
In fact, the girl just left. She spent 3 weeks with me, and she was from Ohio.
Well, is there someone else? All right, so let me tell you how I came to know HIawatha. We were talking about it today. She didn't even know. But my husband is a lineman for the power company, and he had an accident and fell several feet, and somehow or another his rotary cup was torn, and we went to, of course, his job brought in therapists, and he was in such pain. He got to the place where he couldn't even put the keys in the ignition of the car. And so the company said, okay, he needs to go for a surgeon. I had been saying he needed to see the doctor, but if you knew men, you know, they know best. I can just bear this pain. Yet and still, I bet you they couldn't have the childbirth pains. You know, they're such wimps at times. But anyway, so we went on to the doctor, and she said right away that he would have to have surgery and that he would be off work approximately 6 months. Well, the first thing I wanted to see was the x-rays that they had taken. And she said, oh, she hadn't even looked at the x-rays, and she decided they were going to have surgery. Well, that was the first red flag for me. And so my husband was leaning forth to just say to her, whatever date, the nearest date you have is the one I'll take. So she said, I could do you next week, or, and she named some other time. And so he said, I'll take next week. And I said, we'll take the furthest one away, whatever the next one was. So I came home and I called to a place called UG Pines, and I asked them, was there any natural way of repairing a rotary cup other than surgery? So the lady said, I don't know, but there's a place in Puerto Rico that you could call and ask that same question. So I called, and the person that answered the phone was just all these things, and I'll tell you later on what you said. I could feel all of that in the conversation, and it happened to be HIawatha. And so she said, well, we have, she told me about coming there, and I don't do anything that I have to get up off the ground. So I said, ma'am, we can't come, because I know in order to get to HIawatha, to Puerto Rico, you could not drive. I knew you had to fly or take a boat, and I don't do either of those. So she said, well, we have a place in Michigan. So I thought, oh, great, I am in Michigan. Where is that place? So by the time my husband woke up, I was saying to him, you're going to this place and you're going to go this Thursday. It just so happened that they were having a raw food taste out or something. So that Sunday, because I couldn't get in Thursday, I don't know what happened. But anyway, Sunday, my girlfriend and my husband and I, we all went down, and I took a lunch because they said it was going to be raw food. And I thought, no, I'm going to have to eat. So we had my little stuff in the car, and like someone else said, it was very tasty. The food that we had, very unexpectedly tasty to me. Long story short, that next Thursday we were in, and we were there. I don't know if it was 10 or 14 days, but whatever the program was, and I took my son with me because I thought, what if this is some kind of cult place and they do something and I can't get up because I don't drive on the highway. So I thought, well, my son would go. So he went down, and the first thing that shocked me was the wheatgrass. It was the nastiest tasting stuff I'd ever seen, and looked like they wanted you to drink it, rub it on you, put it in you, anything you could do with it. It was available, you know. So I thought, ugh. But long story short, when we left there in the 10 or 14 days, my husband has not had a pain. We put the wheatgrass everywhere they told you to put it. And to this day, so I'm thinking that had to be, I want to say 12 years ago. My son that I took down there with us met HIawatha, fell in love with her. He declares she's his girlfriend. He's like 41 years old, I think. And HIawatha, I didn't tell you this, but as soon as his test comes back, we'll find out his exams if he will indeed be a naturopathic doctor, because folks, that's what he went to school to do right after he left HIawatha. He spent some time at a place in Orlando. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a raw place there as well. And so, I mean, you've just been a blessing, like others have said. That's how I came to know HIawatha. And also, my husband claims her as his girlfriend. So, well loved. I want to just read a description of HIawatha that you all gave us as we spoke. You told us that she's an awesome person. She's beautiful. She's fun, amazing, energetic, and very resourceful, a person of passion. She's an icon, a role model. She helps people. She's a sweet person, loving. She's a blessed person. She's a wonderful woman. She's full of inspiration. She's an encourager. She's a teacher. She's a raw foodie chef. She said, I'm rather persuasive, and I think we all could concur on that one. And she's humorous. And I wanted to say, what is this other one up here? I can't read my writing, forgive me. And the other thing that I wanted to mention was that there was a lady that spoke earlier that said that how influential HIawatha had been in working with her young daughter. I think she said her daughter was between high school, maybe in college or something. And I thought that was very interesting because my son became interested, and you wouldn't think that kids so young would be interested in this, but I think it has to do with the person that has the characteristics of someone like HIawatha that can give you the truth, give you the facts, and you just love it. So happy birthday, baby.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
HIawatha, can I ask you to move to your right a bit? You're kind of off the screen. There you go. That's a little better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Linda, did you want to say something? It looked like
Yes.
you were raising your hand
Yes.
before.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, I want to. What I wanted to just share is I met HIawatha through the Creative Health Institute back in 1990. My husband had been diagnosed with cancer, and they had given him 6 months to live. And so they were going to do surgery on the kidney within 2 days, and it was going to be chemo radiation. And Just to make a long story, I ended up getting the pathology report because I like doing a lot of research, and I ended up reading it one whole day. It was like for 6 hours, and I found one word in there. They diagnosed him with kidney, but they had the word transitional cell. And I thought about my training that I had in college, and I said to my husband, I said, I think that's only in the bladder. Well, what happened then, we went to the doctor, asked if this could be possibly a wrong diagnosis. And he said, absolutely not. He crossed his arms and he said, if you don't have your surgery tomorrow, do not come back to me. And he was the best doctor in Lansing. And I thought, oh my God, what did I just do? So what happened when we got home, Bill said to me, would you get a hold of those weeby-jeeby people you kind of hang out with? And I was like, oh my gosh, I was into Reiki and all that. And so I called them, and somebody actually referred me to Creative Health, and on the phone answered HIawatha. The very next day, we were at Creative Health for the whole 2 weeks. And I have to say about HIawatha, not only did she change my husband's life, she changed mine. But I don't see her as even human. I see her as half angel and half a spiritual person. She not only brings the food and the change for us all, but she brings with it the spirit. And she just brought, what she brought for me? For 2 weeks, I got to work in the kitchen with her. And so I got to learn everything, how to grow the wheatgrass in the basement, how to grow microgreens, because I knew when I got back 2 weeks later, I was going to have to do everything, and how to grow it, and how to make all the things that we made, the greens, the wheatgrass. And you're right, I hated wheatgrass. I still hate it to this day, but I still take it. But the miracle is that he did go in for a second opinion. It was not kidney, it was bladder. And he would have died, there's no question, in about 6 months. So we ended up doing the raw foods for it was 7 months. We went back to U of M. They did another biopsy, and he was completely 100% cured. It was a miracle, and it was truly, I called HIawatha and I said, I just cannot, it's just a miracle. So as someone else had mentioned how it affected their children, my daughter was only 13, my son was only 10 at the time. So they got very involved with the worms and the organic dirt and growing the wheatgrass and the sprouts. And so now they have maintained not a total 100% raw, but I would say 80% raw, all organic. My daughter is a pretty well-known nutritionist now. And so like the rest of you, it's affected my whole life. But I wanted to share my gratitude for HIawatha. The one thing I remember about her, the most important thing she did for me was I was pretty afraid of this journey, but she doesn't give up. She keeps saying, he will be cured. I will teach you the right thing to do. I will show you this. No, Linda, you can't eat sweets. No, you can't complain. No, you get on that rebounder. No, you have to do this. You have to eat your green smoothie all day long while we were there. And it was that belief that she had, that she put in me, that she put in Bill. And that's her miracle to me, is that she continues to do that for everybody that she meets. And HIawatha, I just want to thank you, and Cricket. Because I became part of the Raw Foods group. I met Cricket through both of them and have stayed very close in Young Living Oils and everything else. You both have impacted my life. But I want to thank you, HIawatha. I bought you something, and I know I can't get it to you, but I bought you 12 roses. I want to show you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Beautiful.
And then I also bought you, I don't know if you can see this. It's it's just a beautiful plant. It's all white, because that's how I think of you. It's just beautiful white light from God. And then I know you, whenever I'm there and I get hungry for sweets or something, you always like your greens, Cricket and HIawatha. You like your greens, and you've got to have your greens every day. So I made a smoothie for you tonight that's made out of some really special things. cilantro, spirulina, wild blueberries, barley juice, dulse, a banana, coconut water. And so I wanted to show it to you. I put it in a wine glass for you.
Aww.
So this is, I am tipping this towards you as a thank you for all that you've done for me in my life. And I am so grateful. I love being with you. I miss you. And just thank you so much for what you did for our family.
Nice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'd like to share another thing, Claudette. For those of you who need more raw food recipes, you can go to my website. Let me bring it up here. It's the easy way to get there is Cricket Lot, CRICKETLOTT.com. But when you get there, it'll say livinghiho.com. Hi-ho stands for healthy in, healthy out. I haven't done much updating on this website, but there are over 1,000 recipes on this website. So don't look at the other content or worry about the articles or the blogs. Just go right to the recipes. And you can look through the categories. And then, so since we're doing desserts, you can click on desserts and then it'll give you all the names alphabetically of all the desserts. Or if you have lots of, let's say, carrots, you can type in the word carrot and get all the recipes that have carrots in them. Or you have pineapple, or you have broccoli. And then when you bring up the recipe, then you can print it out. Just do File Print on your browser, and it'll print the whole recipe out for you.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Cricket.
Yeah.
So that's though every time we had a raw food potluck and people brought their recipes, I would type them up and put them on my website at the time. And then I upgraded to this website. So all those recipes that Carlotta showed you, those were, and I emailed those or mailed them out as an attachment on the emails every month. So they were, if you cut them out, you could have 3x5 index cards, or you could just have a sheet of paper with all those recipes. So enjoy that. They're all there. Yep, that's the way they were printed out before. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cricket.
Yep.
I wanted to say, Cricket, do you think I could ask a quick question?
Sure.
Okay, I'm directed at anybody that would be able to help with it. I'm wondering if anybody has any information that would be helpful in restoring the thyroid. Anybody? I use the oils. Maxine, I use, is it indigo oil? I use that on my toe. Yeah, I use that. But I wonder if anybody knows anything.
Are you using Young Living products?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. They have a supplement called Thyromin. THYROMIN. And it's specifically designed to support your thyroid. So it's got all the supplements that you need for feeding a healthy thyroid.
Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
And get a hold of me and we can chat more, because
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, HIawatha, did you have anything you want to say before we all go home?
I'd like to just sing a little song.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. thank you all. I just want to thank you all. You've been so kind to me. You've been so kind to me. You've been so kind to me. I just want to thank you all. And I just like to leave a little nugget. Remember to always stay positive, always stay upbeat, discourage negative conversation from others, always try to help others, think in terms of helping others before you think in terms of helping yourself, and always be loving one toward another. Show compassion toward other people. And just remember that every little cell in your body is happy. Every little cell in your body is well. Every little cell in your body is happy. Every little cell in your body is well. I'm so happy. I'm so glad that every little cell in your body is happy and well.
Aw, nice.
Yeah. Can I ask HIawatha a question?
Yeah.
HIawatha, where was the genesis of you? How did you become HIawatha?
Question.
Where did it all begin?
Let me tell you, I gave a synopsis of it to Claudette today. It all started when I was 7 or 9 years old, and I was not supposed to live. And doctors were afraid to do surgery. And what happened is I prayed continuously. My father was a deacon in the church, so I'd been exposed to religious spirituality. I just prayed all the time that I would live and not die. And when I became 16, my sister, after the war, was found a job with a renowned surgeon. His name was Lord Nolan. And after she'd worked for him for a year, my mother said, why don't you ask him if he'll perform the surgery on HIawatha? And he told her to bring me there to the hospital. He even owned the hospital, and that he would diagnose the situation, see what he could do. And so after he saw me, he said, listen, it's a very difficult surgery, but I know I can do it. He performed the surgery. Now, the irony of this is we didn't have a dime to pay the hospital. We were very poor. And so my sister, after the surgery, she told the doctor, she said, listen, start taking money out of my pay every week. He said, no, I have a better proposition. He said, I'm up in age. And really, he was an old man. I imagine he was somewhere like, as I look back on it now, he looked like he might have been 70, 75. He was an old man. And he was able to perform that surgery. His hands were still steady. And so he said, look, I'm getting to be old. I would like for you to promise me that when I die, you will stay with my wife until her death. And there was no contract signed or anything, but he died and my sister stayed with the wife until she died. And then she went up north and got a good paying job. Wow. But it was just wonderful that this man, his name was Lord Nolan. I'll never forget it. So there's some good people out there, everybody.
Yeah.
Look on the positive side. Look on the bright side of life. There is a bright side.
You are one of them. You are one of those good people, HIawatha. This is Carolyn.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
I just wanted to, this is Moselle. I just wanted to say that next Monday at 6, HIawatha and I will feature a birthday party for the Lansing, with the Detroit folks. So I figured we'll contact you about how to let everybody know if they want to join us at 6 o'clock next Monday.
Okay. Well, I just have a question for HIawatha because I had said earlier that I believe it had to be I got to Lansing like the late 80s, and somehow when you retired, you said, I'm going to learn how to be well, be healthy at Creative Health Institute. So how did you hear about Creative Health Institute, and what kind of wellness were you seeking at that time?
Well, actually, it's a long story, and it's on the sad side. But I lost my daughter to leukemia. And prior to her death, somebody had told me about Creative Health Institute. But I didn't have the money to go to Creative Health Institute at that time. And so after her death, there was a young man who belonged to the organization that I belonged to. And he told me he was going to go to this Creative Health Institute for their Sunday banquet. And he went and he came back. He said, listen, you need to go to that banquet sometimes. So actually, I was 63. I became 63 years of age. And I started having pain. I was 20. I was weighing 200 and some pounds. And my legs started aching. And I was aching so badly until I thought I was going to have to get on a cane. And I said, this is terrible. And I thought about Creative Health Institute. I went there asking if they needed anybody in the kitchen, because that's where I wanted to be, because the person in the kitchen controls the health of the family. So I said, but I have a problem. I cannot stand. So Don Hoy was the director at that time. He said, don't worry, I'll buy you 3 stools and you can go from stool to stool to prepare the food. He said. So after I had been there for, in fact, I started feeling better within a month. By the 3rd month, I had lost so much weight. I had forgotten that I used to have pain. So I decided I was afraid to leave that place. I had to stay that place to make sure that I maintained my health. So I stayed there for years. Periodically, I would go and visit. And when I started visiting people, I would always, if they were going to be eating, I always took my food with me. So the reason I became interested in health and wellness is because I was sick. I mean, to the point where I thought I was going to have to use a cane.
Okay.
It's a great story, HIawatha.
Okay. You know, I miss Creative Health Institute.
Boy.
I know we have COVID here, but we need to try to somehow reinstitute that. I don't know.
I agree.
But that we need that.
But the main thing is keep your immune system up.
Yeah.
Don't eat sweets unless they're fruits, and don't eat too many fruits, because even though fruits are good sugar, you don't want to eat fruits, a lot of them every day. The most women should have every day is 2 pieces of fruit. Men can have as much as 5 pieces. I don't know why, but men can have more fruit than women. And always take your vitamin C. It's imperative that you take your vitamin C. Always take your greens. Your greens have more protein than meat. So you want to just really saturate your body with greens. In fact, I prepared a dessert to share with people. And I called it, my girlfriend said, how about I call it the blueberry fruit crunch? I asked her, what shall I call this? I like to invent recipes. I like to just experiment. And so this is a really excellent recipe, and it doesn't require too many ingredients either. So take out your pencil. I'd like for you to take this recipe down. You use 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. That's where you get some protein. You know, people are concerned about getting protein when they're on a raw food diet and not eating meat and on a plant-based diet. Then you want 2 tablespoons of ground flax. You want 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds.
No, we're writing. Hold up, we're writing.
Oh.
What happened to the cell phones?
Okay, now I don't know. Do you have 2 tablespoons of chia?
Yeah.
2 tablespoons of ground flax?
Yeah.
2 cups of water? 1 teaspoon of Irish moss. Now let me tell you about Irish moss. Irish moss has nearly all the minerals that our body needs. In fact, I think it says that our body needs like 102 minerals. Well, the Irish moss has more than 92 of the minerals the body needs on a regular basis.
So where do you get that Hiawatha?
Right.
Well, I get a lot of stuff from Amazon.com, and you have a choice. You know, you have a choice. There are a lot of companies that sell their products on Amazon. So I always get my Irish moss from Amazon.
And you said 1 teaspoon of that?
Yes, you don't want too much of it.
Okay.
2 cups of water. Do you have that?
Yeah.
And I have 1 apple, 1 cup of kale, 1 cup of blueberries or strawberries. So if you want it to look pink, I like the way strawberries look. However, I made mine with blueberries because there's more nutrients in the blueberries, I'm told. Then you want 7 walnuts, and you want 1 banana, and you want to slice this banana, and slice this banana. Now you want to blend everything except your walnuts and your banana slices. Then you want to get a serving bowl, and this is more than enough for 1 person. So you need to get, you can easily serve 3 people out of it. Slice the banana, and the banana, you should have 1 banana per person. So if you want it for 3 people, you got to have 3 bananas. So you slice the banana at the bottom of the container. Then you put the the blended ingredients on top of the banana. Then you put the walnuts across the top of that. So you could have walnuts, or you could use almonds. Now, I recommend that you use some coconut because that makes it look so pretty, but I'm allergic to coconut, so I couldn't put any on my dish. But coconut makes it so pretty and so delicious. I like the way the coconut makes it taste. So my girlfriends, they call it strawberry fruit crunch. Now, before people leave,
Hey,
yes.
You got it there where we can see it?
Huh?
Can we see it?
I don't know.
Your blueberry?
Hey, Hiawatha.
How do you make it? I don't know how to show it to you.
Hiawatha.
Yes?
Didn't you mention hemp seed?
Yeah.
Hemp. H-E-M-P.
How many? How much?
A tablespoon. If you look in the chat, I typed it all up for you.
Oh, good.
2 tablespoons.
Can you see this?
Yeah, tilt it a little toward the camera. Yeah.
Talk, Hiawatha.
Up.
There you go.
Now dump it all out.
I'm going to eat this afterwards.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, that would be a great breakfast.
Delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Cricket, may I see it? Or Hiawatha, may I see it again? I'm sorry. I was copying the recipe. Oh,
That's beautiful.
See,
yes.
it really would be pretty with the pink, with the strawberries.
Yeah.
It brightens it up.
The kale and the blueberries make more brownish.
Yeah. And with regards to, I know Claudette mentioned something about the thyroid, but I recently read, and I Googled it, and it must be the truth because a lot of people are saying that there's something in cruciferous vegetables that cruciferous vegetables has goitrogen, and goitrogen has a negative impact on the thyroid. Has anybody else heard that?
Oh, I haven't heard that.
I have heard that, but I also have been listening to a number of health summits with some of the top national rated natural health people, and there's varying opinions on it. Most of them are saying that it's not a direct effect unless you eat excessive amount. So I don't have a conclusive answer for that, but I'm hearing a little bit of variety on their opinions.
And you know what? The main thing is everything is not good for everybody.
Right.
You know, each body is different. It depends upon the impact that the structure of the body, I guess. Something causes a difference, but each body is different. And one thing might be, what does it say? One man's medicine is another man's poison.
Right.
I absolutely love pecans, and I used to mix them in stuff or put them in pecan in what do you call it, medjool date, or walnuts in medjool date, cut them in half. And I muscle tested myself several times against that, and it never came out good. And you know, the muscle testing is helpful, but I just really react, I guess, to the, you know, like you're right, it just depends. And I think sometimes too, you have to know, you might have a condition that you're on the edge of having a problem. And if you have too much of something, it can push you over. So you do need to figure out what's, like you're saying, HIawatha, you're allergic to coconut. You're sensitive to that. I guess you have to know what you're really sensitive to.
And there is a book out for people with thyroid healing. It's called Thyroid Healing. And it's by the medical medium. And his name is Anthony Williams.
And I would love to add to that, HIawatha. I've been in a book club for probably the whole COVID with Anthony Williams. And I've got all of his books, and you can anybody can find him on YouTube. And sign up for his free newsletter, Facebook, and you can get all the things. He's really a hoot to watch. He's fun. He talks a lot, but he channels spirit through him. So a lot of the things go right along with what we're all talking about today. But in how to cleanse out our organs of heavy metals, viruses, and but his name, it's a medical medium. So yay, HIawatha.
and this is Carolyn. I have learned that all our bodies are different because some people are on medication and some are not. And I thank God for being a cancer survivor for 17 years that I'm not on any medication. And I think the key to healing, well, I know the key to healing is fasting. And a lot of times people just want to jump right into being raw or vegan, but they have to fast first. And if you go into the hospital, they're not going to give you any food until they take all the tests they can. So everybody can fast. If it's nothing but a half a day. So that is the key I found to healing. And I just took a chelation treatment today. So I take chelation right now. I'm trying to get off of this water pill. Well, I'm not trying, I'm going to get off of it. But I am taking chelation treatments right now, and I will be taking 20 of them every Monday.
Linda, I'd like to add to that. The intermittent fasting, that's something that HIawatha's been doing it now for about a year. HIawatha, I've been doing it for about a year. And
yes,
that intermittent fasting is one of the best health regimen that will keep the body, will take the weight off, and certainly it has so many health benefits, and it's right in line with what you're saying in terms of the need to give the body a rest for at least 8 hours a day of daylight a day.
Moselle, how are you defining intermittent fasting?
I define it 8-8-8, 8 hours of sleeping, and in the morning, 8 hours of liquids, lemon water, green smoothies, and then 8 hours of some solid food between noon, 1 and 2, and then nothing else after 5, 6, or 7 in the evening. And giving the body some rest. And I have a regimen that I can share with you, Maxine.
Thank you.
And we can talk later.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to have to go. I wish you a happy birthday, Hiawatha.
Thank you, Hiawatha.
Thank you, everybody.
Happy
for coming. I
birthday.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go too because I've got a hungry man on his way home.
Okay.
Happy birthday,
I don't
Hiawatha.
want to go to work. I better get up and feed him.
Listen, it's their prayer warrior.
so much, everybody.
I'd like for somebody to say a prayer before we leave.
Okay, I'll take it.
Hiawatha, can you pray? You are so good.
I am. Well, I'm just now learning how to pray.
Do you want me to pray, Hiawatha?
Yeah.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of Hiawatha and the gift of all these beautiful faces who have embraced her healthy lifestyle and taken the message beyond her and beyond themselves to their families, their friends, and to strangers. We ask your blessings today on Hiawatha. I know her birthday was 2 days ago, but we can give her birthday blessings again today. And for all the years that she has left ahead of her, we ask you to give her a long life, a solution to her skin rash problem. We know you have one, Lord, and we thank you that the answer is coming from you. We bless your holy name, and we bless all the people on this call. In Yeshua's name, amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Cricket.
Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Every time.
Bye-bye.
Hiawatha.
Bye. Now I can eat my dessert.
Now you can eat your fruit.
Bye.
Hi, Jean. I don't know. I didn't hear you.
On the count of 3, let us all leave together. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Leave. Push leave.
Oh, what do you
Push
push?
leave.
I don't
Say
know how
that
to do
again.
it.
I didn't know what to do.
Oh, you just hit leave. I don't want to go. Hiawatha, goodbye. Happy birthday.
She's gone. Hiawatha, this song is for you. Today is a birthday, I wonder for whom. I bet it's for someone who's right in this room. So look all around you for somebody who is smiling and happy. My goodness, it's you. Happy birthday, Hiawatha, from all of us to you. Happy birthday, Hiawatha, from Mommy and Daddy too. We congratulate you and pray good luck follow too. Happy birthday, Hiawatha. May all of your good dreams come true. I love you, my friend. I'm glad you had a great birthday.